Hello everybody, EastSussexBiker here. I'm basically doing a follow-up video with this ride and my experiences with the Kawasaki Z650. Having had it now a couple of days and got to know it, I kind of feel that whilst it's a nice, fun, nippy little bike to ride, I don't really like it. And the reasons I don't like it are: I don't like the front suspension, it's way too soft. I hate this exhaust on it. It's a Black Widow exhaust. I mean, it is good for going through the traffic like this, but other than that, oh, and the other thing was also that I came in the early hours of this morning and it was absolutely hammering it down, and basically my back was soaked, and I think that's crap. Very poor design for that to happen. And I carry a bag on my back bike. It's great for a starter who's moving up. This is only a loan bike. It's ideal for that, and that's probably why they use it. I don't really like the look of it. It's very Kawasaki, isn't it? It's typical that it's all these funny strange angles and what have you. I don't like the little indicators on it, the little LED thing. You know, brakes are fine, accelerates great, performs well. Front suspension, yuck, way too soft, and if you have to apply the brake suddenly, you're thrown forward all over the place. So I really think they've got that very wrong, unless there's a good reason why they've done that. So yeah, there are some good points about it. And the good points are, yes, it's light and nippy, very easy to handle, very manageable, great fun to ride. That's really it. And I think it's the bike that you use to progress from your 125 after you've done your CBT and mod 1 and 2 and all that sort of thing. But there you go. You can't please everybody all of the time. And I've heard the comment on many of the reviews about these that the throttle is very on and off, and it is. And unless you're really gassing it and opening the throttle up, if you're sort of on overrun and just tickling around, it's sort of very jerky and is like it's on and off. Tyres are fine. I don't have any issues with these. As I say, rode it in the wet today and they were very good. I believe they are Pilot 2s, but I could be wrong. Depends if they've changed these. Since it's, I think they look fairly original. So you can get the taller seat if you're a little bit longer in the leg. Hello Gwendolyn. She looks nice. And I feel a little bit cramped on it, if I'm honest. I don't mind the upright position. The arms are good, but my ankles are all buckled up, and I'm only 5'6". And I like to put the balls of my feet on the foot pegs, but I just feel very cramped on the leg side. I mean, going back to the seat, it's a nice seat, it's comfortable, it's wide, and it's big enough for my backside. So if you're looking at a Z650, Ignore the fact that this has got a Black Widow exhaust on it, because I think that sort of takes the I mean, it pops back and all does is all its silly little things nicely, but I just think at the end of the day it's just too noisy. But that aside, it is a nice little bike if you've just passed your test. Trying to get the dog to bark. Oh, it's definitely Friday afternoon, isn't it? I think the softness of the front suspension could be quite dangerous if you found yourself in a situation where you had to brake quite hard. Oh, little fidget there. Must have been a stone, felt like it. And I can't work out how to sort the clock out, but I'm not really that worried. So going back to the front suspension, it's not adjustable. I think the rear has some adjustment on it, as normal, but the front suspension is non-adjustable. My clothes are still wet from this morning. Thought they may have dried, laying them over the bike under the cover while I was at work. But not to be! So look, just a couple of little things, okay, before we go. This is the seat, and it was covered, absolutely covered. This is that horrible exhaust, and these are the little indicators. And these are the forks, and look how far the travel is, up to there. But for me, I suppose it doesn't look too bad. Depends what you want in a bike, I suppose. You see, there's nothing here. All the water just goes up and everywhere. So I'm guessing you must be able to get a hugger, maybe, that goes over that. But you literally get absolutely soaked when it's raining. My bag was absolutely saturated. It's kind of growing on me, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, the front suspension just isn't working for me. And the other thing I notice is that the headlight is really quite high, although it doesn't blind anybody from behind. when you put it on main beam, it's literally up in the trees and doesn't really benefit you at all. Anyway, there you go. All in all, it's a nice little bike, as I say, for somebody who has passed their test and looking for something a little bit bigger with a little bit more power. There's a lot of power with this. I mean, it does go like stink. There is no doubt about that. So for a second bike, it's it definitely does pack a punch. So maybe with a little bit more time with it, I might grow to like it, who knows. So if you are planning to upgrade, then think carefully, but most of all, try and get a ride, try and get a road test with one, so that you can fully understand what it's like, you know. I mean, back in the day when I was riding bikes, when I was 18, you weren't allowed to road test a bike. It was very hard to be able to have a road test on a bike. I mean, if they thought you were properly serious, they might let you. But I can remember I wanted to buy, was it a Z1000R or something, I think it was. And it was a dealer called International, was it Wheels International in Hinckley, that's right. And I basically had to give them the keys to my car, my wallet, my watch, before they would let me out on it. It's a lot easier today. I think manufacturers have got to the point where they need to get bums on seats, and unless somebody's tried their mate's bike or whatever, then you know, that's the alternative, isn't it? Try your mate's bike. I mean, I'm using this thing, it's got £1,000 excess on it if anything goes wrong. So you do have to be a little bit mindful of that. Anyway, after all said and done, we've run it, we're running it until I get my other bike back. And at the moment we're 2 days in with it. And I guess it's a case of just getting used to it. I may well do another video, because I don't think I'm getting my other bike back until next week, because tomorrow is Saturday, unless parts have arrived today, which I doubt, and I shall remain on this until such time as my bike gets back. That's nice. Kia, I like that. So I forgot to mention, thanks for joining me, EastSussexBiker saying goodbye, like and subscribe, and until next time, infinity and beyond.